Hey guys, welcome back. Joe here again, ScaleFreak.com, coming to bring you another Get to Know series video, but this one's with Antler, Jason Antler, always referred to as Antler. There's a few Jasons in the area, but there's only one Antler, so that's what we've always called him, was Antler. But his official name is Jason Antler. You can find him on Facebook, you can find him on, well, I guess technically you can be found on Instagram, yet there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So you can be tagged on Instagram, but there is nothing to see, except for if there's a way to see all the pictures you've been tagged on.
I think that's the only one there is.
Yeah, pretty much every picture that Scale Freak has posted in a very long time, Jason will be tagged on because he's been a part of the crew, the OG Scale Freak crew, since very, very close to the beginning. Actually, very close to the beginning. So in this series, what we're doing is we're kind of going over a few of the things that you might not know, a little bit more personal stuff about the people who are involved in the Scale Freak group. Because remember, there's my wife, which we already have getting to know Natasha. That was the first one. There's Bear, my son. There's Steve, Antler, Pumbaa, Ian is his name, Dave. And then the actual original Scale Freak from way back in the day is Vince. And then, of course, we've got the affiliate guys like Ketty, who never comes on camera. But
it's mentioned every video.
Yeah, and man, is that guy in electronics, he's amazing with wiring, so absolutely. But he's moved on to actually building full-size Jeeps, so it's a little harder to get him into the RC stuff these days. But anyway, this episode belongs to Antler, so we're going to learn a little bit more about kind of what goes on with this guy outside, well, most RC stuff, but also outside of RC stuff. So I guess I'm trying to go through some of the questions that we asked Tosh when we were going through the episode. I guess one of the first ones was, how did we originally meet?
Probably back when you owned the track. And it was one of those, you know, back home my dad was running RCs with a couple of younger kids in the neighborhood, kind of, you know, he didn't have a dad with him, so I'm going to take you out, get to know you. And it was like, well, I want to do that kind of stuff. I never got to do that. So I started looking down here, and I mean, I think at the time there was really your track, or you ran indoor carpet in Hamilton.
Yeah, there was, because there was
Ferrero's,
which opened, after me. So there was me, and then Hot Rod Hobbies opened, and then Ferrero Quad and RC opened.
Yeah. And
then there, of course, was, what was the place that was up, Cristiano's place?
Oh, Hardcore.
Hardcore. There was Hardcore, which was an 8-scale outdoor track.
Which was, you know, beyond where I was ready to be.
Yeah, that was like the top level guys were raced there. Yeah. My track was more of an entry level.
Yeah, entry level.
And short course. All day long. Short course, short course, short course. 2-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. So I guess it would be 2-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. It was all about short course at Average Joe's at the Vineland Speedway, which was good for me because that was my favorite actual one-to-one was the Torque series. The Traxxas Off-Road series is what it was originally called, and then it got sold to Liberty Media, or Armory Media, which became the Off-Road Championship series brought to you by Traxxas, and then it folded in 2017. So originally you came to the track, and I kind of remember it. You just kind of came to the track, and I believe at that time it was just me and Steve doing our thing.
You and Steve doing your thing. I mean, officially, I think I'd been told at the time that your track wasn't even there.
Yeah.
It was one of those, you know, you want to run RCs around here, you find a parking lot or a dead end and just have fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, well, what about that place out Vineland? Well, that place closed up long ago.
Well, because long before I took it over, it was a track that eventually closed, and then I rebuilt the business from ashes.
Yeah. And so, you know, I'm driving by one day and it's like, there's a lot of cars for a closed track.
A lot of cars for a closed track, yeah.
Maybe I'll drop in and, you know, just see what it's all about. And I think at the time you and Steve were doing your thing. Someone had, I believe it was an MBX6 Eco. I don't know if it was Tony or maybe even yours.
Yeah, it was probably mine.
And, you know, just like, hey, there's a big pile of dirt. Let's see how high the single jump.
That was definitely mine.
It's like, oh, maybe I should try this.
Yeah. There are actually videos on the way back on the channel of us launching MBX6 Ecos, SC10 4x4s, off and nitro cars off of a skate ramp, 40, 50 feet in the air, trying our best to land them on the wheels, and there are batteries falling out, there are motors breaking, there are parts flying off. That was a pretty good video. Yeah. We used to do not just racing, we also did a lot of very dumb stuff. Lighting cans of nitro on fire. Yeah. Lighting everything on fire.
Smoke bomb under the back of the
track. Yeah, smoke bombs on the back of Jeff. Popping lipos to see how much we did a lot of irresponsible don't try this at home stuff, kids, but we were also in a giant asphalt parking lot around no one else, so only dumb people that were involved would get hurt if someone was going to get hurt. There were no bystanders, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And then we moved on to on-road.
On-road, yep.
And I think that's where, the group really started to form, with me being in it.
Yep. Because on-road is where you really took off. Because on-road, World GT, VTA, on-road was where you really dug in. Because you had a bunch of off-road kits. We did Tilsonburg. You had 8-scale Truggy electric, 8-scale Truggy nitro.
No, just 8-scale Truggy electric.
A short course.
And short course. And that was, I think the first time I'd actually raced.
Yeah.
Was I went to Tilsonburg.
Yeah.
And I think I still got the videos saved, where I snapped my Truggy in half.
Literally the back end, and I was the announcer that year. It's got to be online, and
It's online somewhere, and it's,
It's pretty funny.
The failure of short course that it was, having a great race, last corner, 10 feet to the end, I stuffed it in the wall.
Yeah.
And, you hear across the announcing, Antler, that just cost you your bump,
Yeah, yeah.
And it was just like head drop.
When I was a race director, I was certainly the king of the obvious. Some stuff that didn't have to be said, but just had to be said. And it really was that moment you go, God, but it was fun that way. So we did the on-road. You came and did some scale stuff with us. He has a scaler. You guys may have seen it from other videos. It's been referred to as the Banana. Yeah. It's an SCX-10 with a lot of upgrade parts that has never one day in its existence ever come together.
That's true.
It's built, but then in the process of the upgrades, and I'll put this on me, a couple of the upgrades didn't agree with each other, and I just kind of went, forget it.
Yeah, and I moved on to other stuff at the time.
Yep, so it's still sitting on my bench. It actually started to get stripped for parts, but all the parts are back because there was a couple things that I borrowed. Because there was the one day that you came out with us using one of Steve's trucks.
Yeah.
So we used your tires and your wheels. So they're dirty in the house somewhere.
Tires, wheels, bumpers.
Yeah, there was a few Vanquish parts that may have been picked off, but then went back on.
Yeah, and then because I wasn't using it, some of it went to Bear.
Yep.
To get him running.
Yep.
So he could, get out and start doing stuff.
Yep.
And now
there's a new kit coming, just for the record.
Yeah.
So, well, it's more of a Scale Freak kit, but there'll be another one here for Antler to use, and that's coming soon. So there'll be a build video on that one. You're going to see Tosh do something. I've already built these kits before, so Tosh is going to do the next one. But so you'll see him doing some scaling stuff with us when he can get out.
Yeah. Because
Antler is a pretty busy dude. Why don't you tell the audience what it is you do for a living? Everybody knows what I do.
For a living, I work in Hamilton as a paramedic. So that ties up every other day kind of thing. The last couple of years, it's actually got cut back the amount of work I've been doing, just with, you've been doing it 10 years now. Maybe it's time to start having fun with your friends outside of work.
Yes.
Not needing to work, every other day overtime. And
yeah, you did get the getting was good as best as you can.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, there comes a point, and even I've learned this, there comes a point where it's like, wait, why am I doing this again? Oh yeah, this to be able to do all this other stuff that we talk about, but never actually get to do it.
Making all this money is to, have fun with my RC friends, but I can't have fun with my RC friends because I'm making money.
Yeah, because I never see them.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting though. So whenever we have an event, something always happens. Always. And instantly, Antler pops into first responder paramedic mode, and the one year you did that matrix run down the wall to get down the stairs to get the fire extinguisher to put out a table fire. The one day, the one guy left his lipo charging in his Truggy, which caught fire to his fuel, which then caught fire to a stack of fuel.
Yeah.
And burned this guy all to hell, and Antler somehow managed to pull the guy out of the fire and then put out the fire and then get the guy to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was pretty messed up after that one, but he's not dead.
No.
And neither were the people in the truck next to him that would have had no idea. One more reason why I don't like to run nitro, because that situation almost became fatal for no fault of the people who would have bit the bullet on that one.
Yeah.
That would have been a real bad situation. I think that was the last year I did Tilsonburg.
That was the last year you did Tilsonburg.
After that, I said, no, thank you. No, thank you. There's too many people. There's too many variables, and I can't have my name attached to that anymore. So, but okay, so you're a paramedic.
Paramedic. New father.
And he has a kid. Tell us about Little Antler, your scale project.
My scale project. He's going to be 6 months in about a week. Big.
He's a big kid.
I was surprised. I mean, you know.
Well, how tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
So 6'4".
And he started out at what, 6.5 pounds. And now he's up, you know, pushing 18 or 20 at 6 months.
Yeah, so he's as heavy at 6 months as some of your heaviest scale kids. He started about the weight of my cat, and now is the weight of one of my dogs. No, my dogs are way too heavy than that.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, so he's still in the first year. So for any of you new dads, you know the first year kind of really boring for us. Kind of sucks. The kid doesn't do much. But after the first year, I'd have to say after about the first year and a half, stuff starts to get really fun, like super interactive and a lot of fun. And then he comes over all the time and sees my kid. And like even today, we were sitting in the garage preparing to film this video, but we knew that the second Bear saw the camera, we would never get this video finished. So as soon as he gets into the car, Jason! And then runs up and he's got tons of things to show us from the day and tons of stuff. But you guys will get to meet Bear in a little bit. I'm going to do a getting to know on him. And I'm going to warn you now, I do not know how that video is going to go. That is, wow, that video could be...
I think it'll be fun.
I think it'll be fun, but it's an unknown as to what's going to happen with that video. But all right, so new dad, paramedic. On-road was your main thing. Off-road was your thing as well. And now you're going to see a lot of scale stuff. I think he's really going to enjoy the scale stuff. Now, you're from up north.
Yeah.
You're from Bruce County, right?
Bruce County.
Bruce County. So it's actually interesting. When you go into Jason's house, I don't think it's a coincidence that there are antlers everywhere.
Yeah.
Animal stuff everywhere. But he comes from a fishy, hunty, do outdoor stuffy family.
Yeah.
So boats and Sea-Doos and
Sea-Doos
ATVs and off-road trucks and general kill what you catch or eat what you catch.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff got put on the back burner with Tina. But,
yeah. But yeah, so he's the kind of guy that when the like the -40 weather shows up and there's a foot of snow like an hour coming, that's normal natural home stuff for him. It's like, yeah, this is a regular day where I'm from, and meanwhile I'm freezing my nuts off. And he's like outdoor without a coat on, just being like, this is the easiest stuff in the world.
Yep. All the conversations about, dude, you sure you want to come? There's a snowstorm. It's like, I got a big truck.
Yeah, I got a big truck and I'm from Bruce. So that's pretty neat. And it's neat too, which I always think is kind of cool, because family is a big thing for Jason. Every year, it's you, your dad.
Started out myself, my dad, my uncle, my uncle's friend, my dad's uncle and his cousin. So 6 of us went, head up north of Thunder Bay. Big, 10-day fishing trip. Pontoon plane drop you off on the lake, and see you in 10 days, boys.
Whether you separate your shoulder or not on the first day.
Yeah.
So
that was a learning experience.
Tell them about that one.
Basically, due to miscommunication, the boat was untied when I went to climb in. So as I climbed in, it slipped away from the dock. I fell backwards, and thinking that I had, some valuable electronics in my pocket, tried to catch myself on the dock, and basically tore my rotator cuff.
On day one.
Pretty much day one.
And then so there was 8-9 more days in the bush before the plane was coming back to pick you up.
Yep.
But as a paramedic, he set himself back in place as best he could, and then just kind of went, yeah, I'm fine, for the rest of the time.
Beer is your friend.
Beer is your friend. I don't do that stuff, but yeah. That's cool. So paramedic kid. Now I'm trying to think of a few more things that I went through on the video with Tosh, because I actually kind of liked the way that video went. There was a lot of really good feedback, guys. Thank you for the questions and stuff like that. She still goes through all of the comments fields of all the videos, and I'm sure Jason will definitely go through the comments field on this one. If you have any questions, please make sure you post them below, because he'll answer mostly anything you have for him. So we're going to get into the scale stuff, and this year there would be like to be a little bit. I'm not going to name any destinations because there's nothing locked in stone yet, but there could be some traveling, and I mean, timeline permitting, maybe Antler can come as well. I want to say timeline permitting because, again, a baby, a job, and then his annual fishing trip. Sometimes things get in the way. Where was I going to go with that one? I'm just really coming down to say you're going to see a lot more videos with him in it.
More videos, hopefully more trips.
Yeah, because we used to think about doing all of the racing stuff, right? Traveling out to race the RCD Pro, traveling out to race all the different events. We even talked the last couple of years about traveling to go see actual race events.
Yeah, actual race events.
But then Torque was shut down because we were going to go to Redbud and go back to Torque, but Torque is shut down. And then I don't really know what's happening with the Rallycross stuff right now, but who knows?
Maybe try and line up Axial Fest?
Oh, that is way out of my scope right now. I love the idea of Axial Fest.
The idea is great.
I was talking about that last night on my live video, or I don't know when I'm going to post this video. So I was talking about that Tuesday night on my live video about how Axial Fest has always been like the mecca for me. I would love to go, but the budget for something like that is just prohibitive and quite difficult to get something like that.
And
so,
I mean, being one of the only guys that hasn't done a G6 in the crew.
Yeah, we've got to get it. There's a handful of G6s within a driving distance this year. We've got to get you to one of them.
At least one.
Yeah, and it's got to be a Parker G6 because ain't no party like a Parker party, that's for sure.
That's true.
And then he'll try to pick you up, and then, he's just Parker. We got to it'd be funny if we could all get kilts for that. That would be pretty funny. We all show up with toe shoes and kilts and just be like, oh, hey, what's up, Parker? And not tell him we're coming. That would be even better.
Surprise.
Surprise. So another thing that Jason has got into recently is sim racing. So, I've posted a handful of times that that's something that I've been doing. I've kind of bored a handful of you with a few of my Instagram posts, at ScaleFreakRC on Instagram. But Antler got into it as well because racing is kind of something that you like to do with RC. So why not do it with the? I was almost gonna say real cars. We've talked about that as well.
Yeah.
Because as we've mentioned in the past, Niagara is definitely known for its dirt oval. And the dirt ovals around here, sometimes all you need is a scrap car, kick the windshield out, put the gas tank in the back seat, and go.
I can kind of see it happening.
Yeah.
Not this year, but as Bear gets older, as my son gets older, and if you and I keep thinking we're not getting older, there's going to be a couple of go-karts, maybe a car, and just kind of alternate weekends. One weekend it's like Joe runs the race car, my son will run the go-kart. Yeah. Next week I'll run the race car, Bear can run the go-kart. Yeah. Just,
Or what'll wind up happening is both of our kids will take our cars and we'll just be pit crew.
That works.
Which is still just as fun because, we'll eventually get older because when they're in their 20s, we'll be, by the time Bear's 20, I'll be 55. So by the time Alex is 20,
I'll be 55.
Yeah, so there you go. By the time they hit 20, we'll be 55.
Oh, yeah.
Well, mine's 5 years older. I'm 40. You're 35?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go.
55 and 60.
Yeah, 55 and 60, and I'll just buy bigger, faster cars at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, racing on that way. So we do the sim racing as well. So he picked up the same sim station that I have, and then we have a lot of fun doing. We were doing F1 2018.
F1 2018 or
Dirt
17 we were doing.
Was it? Oh yeah, 17, and then I moved on to 18. We're both. Are you getting 19?
I'm getting 19.
So we're both going to get 2019. We've also got Dirt Rally 2.0.
Yeah.
And Forza 7.
Forza 7 and Project Cars.
And Project Cars 2.
Yeah.
So the problem with having that many racing games is we can never nail down which racing game we're going to play, especially because I picked up the Division 2 and I've just been playing that instead. And I haven't actually turned on my racing system since the last time we did a sim racing night in the garage.
Yeah.
And then as you can tell from the pictures on the Instagram, the garage is completely shredded apart. I'm staring at a wall of studs. There's no insulation or walls left in here. It's just studs and outside brick wall.
But it's warm because it's summer.
Well, it's going to get warmer. In the morning in here, this floor gives off so much cold, we don't come in here. Yeah. So other than that, I mean, we're talking about other things that you're into. When we did the Tosh video, we kind of went even further. We talked about movies, we talked about music, we talked about hobbies other than RC. We talked about a lot of different stuff. So kind of tell us a little bit more about what you're into.
Starting to get back into guns.
Yeah. Are you a rifle, pistol, shotgun? What's your preference?
Right now, I'm a shotgun and rifle kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
In 2 weeks, I'm going to take the handgun course.
Yeah.
So I might become a handgun guy.
Yeah.
See if I like it or not. And then just kind of go from there. I mean.
And are you doing action range? Are you doing skeet shooting? Are you doing just range?
Right now, it's just range.
Yeah.
I mean, years ago, I was doing skeet shooting, trap shooting, you know, stupid shooting.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term. I mean, what can you do with a gun that's fun? And
anything, really.
Still legal.
Yeah.
And you know, you kind of grow up a little bit, and it's, well, maybe I'll just, you know, can you shoot this card at 100 yards?
That's fun stuff. Because one thing, and I'm sure this will wind up, you know, that's actually kind of funny that I think about that, is in Tasha's video, she talked about guns. You talked about guns. You know Steve's going to talk about guns.
Yeah.
And we're in Canada where no one ever talks about guns. That's odd, but...
Like mines.
Yeah, but we're sitting in the garage talking to a phone. So we start talking about guns. I love my rifles. Tosh loves her pistols. Rifles and shotguns, maybe pistols. I know Steve is a pistol guy, 100%. Steve's actually a very accomplished and I wouldn't say accredited, I would say awarded, maybe?
Awarded would work.
Awarded shooter. One of the... I'll let him talk about it, but I know that he's very high. Well, when he was in his competitions, he was very high ranked in the region, and I think pretty decent in Canada. So he was doing really, really well with his shooting. But I have to get the course as well. Here in Canada, we have to have a purchase and acquisition license in order to buy firearms and ammunition, and that is kind of your firearms permit. But you've got to go take your PAL, and then you have to go get your restricted, which would be your pistols. And certain rifles.
Certain rifles.
And then only the most top secret clearance can get prohibited.
Yeah, you got to be pretty much military.
Yeah.
I don't even think a lot of the police can get prohibited anymore.
Yeah, and the problem with prohib licenses or even prohib in Canada is from day to day, they can change what is prohibited and what is not. So always be ready in Canada to have your guns taken from you. Because we don't have the right to bear arms here in Canada. That was never a part of our, what is it, an amendment? The Fifth Amendment, is that what it is? All right, no, the plea the Fifth is to not talk.
Yeah.
Second Amendment? Second Amendment. We don't have anything like that here in Canada. If someone walks up to your door and says, "Hi, I'm an official. I'd like to have your guns, please," you hand them over and you say, "I'm sorry," because we're Canadian. We always say we're sorry. But that's just kind of how we are. And I was almost going to say that you almost never need anything like that in your home, really, except for the fact that 3 months ago?
Christmas.
Was it Christmas time that happened behind your house?
Yeah.
So around Christmas time, which would be 5 months ago, you were at work and your wife was packing up the family.
I had just left for work.
And the wife's packing up the family to go up north?
Up north for Christmas with my parents.
And next thing you know, there's a shootout at the OK Corral. The house behind Jason's house, connected to backyards, there was a shootout. And there was bullets flying all over his neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, some guy decided to tie some people up in the basement and try to kill them, and then try to get away from the cops, and a firefight ensued.
And Tina was, really nonchalant about it, There was a shootout behind our house. And I'm sitting at work like, really? Do I need to come home? Just because, I live in a quiet town. Yeah, very quiet town. Very, very quiet town. The only thing that happens there is naps.
But you have to understand, and one day I'm sure you'll see Tina in videos as well. Tina is Serbian, and she's seen some stuff. She's seen some stuff that most North Americans just, their brains would melt. So when she hears gunfire, whatever, okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. So we're gonna go now. I can't grasp the concept.
Well, even, you know, like the volunteer fire departments with their air raid sirens.
Yeah.
To me, air raid siren, oh, the volunteers are going out. Tina, completely different.
Yeah, that's hide in the basement.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no thank you. That's a part of the world. I don't know. Hey, the metrics, so when I see the videos, I can actually go through the metrics and see where you guys are viewing from. Majority, almost everybody is from the States and from Canada. But we do have a lot of people from overseas as well. And I don't recall seeing Serbia in there.
I don't know Serbia. I think there was Poland for sure.
Yeah. Oh, definitely Poland. We've always had some Polish followers. Yeah. The UK for sure. We've always had Portugal.
I thought I saw a couple France.
Yep. Germany, stuff like that. We even had like Hawaii and stuff. Even though Hawaii falls under US, it still sometimes will list itself separately.
Yeah.
In the
I'm figuring that, you know, Hawaii in a lot of ways is farther away than some of these other places.
Yeah. So like, post in the comments, where are you watching from? I'm actually kind of curious as to where our viewers are watching from these days. It used to be a lot different way in the past, back with the podcast and stuff like that. But it is a world thing. I mean, Ace of Axe is overseas, and I watch his channel. So a lot of stuff is going to show from Canada watching his channel, because I know there's a lot of us here that watch Ace of Axe. And then when you get guys like Hemistorm and stuff, he's overseas, and I bet you most of his well, I wouldn't say most, because I always, when I say most, I always forget that we are Canada is such a small market share for everything. Like when I look at the population, I had a conversation at work with somebody the other day talking about how California is actually what drives the auto industry and drives all the improvement in cars. And people are like, well, why California? I don't understand, why California? And I punch it up online and I go, because California has 3 million more people in California in one state, one little state off the bottom of the southwest of the US of A, and Canada has 3 million people less than one state. All of Canada, the entire country of Canada, has 3 million less people than one state. So yes, California drives the industry. I keep getting off track, and we're supposed to be talking about Jason, about Antler.
Works.
So we've got, well, we're not going to go into a story about your boat, because that's kind of a sensitive subject.
Yeah.
Your truck is absolutely amazing. Got a big-ass huge truck to pull the boat. Can't say anything about that, though, because it's going to wind up hauling all of our RC gear, so that's pretty fun. Movies, man, because we talked about that with Tosh, too, and some people were surprised, and there was a few comments in there. What are you into in that way?
Probably what I've been into most lately is, you know, like John Wick, Jack Reacher.
Yep. John Wick 3, go watch it.
Yeah. Haven't seen it yet.
It's so good. John Wick 3, go watch it.
Yeah. Steve talked me into getting back into Star Wars. So
is it, what do you like more of, Star Wars or Star Trek? Probably, this is a very polarizing question.
It is. I'm a Star Wars guy.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I've probably seen a lot more Star Trek, but enjoy the Star Wars more.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the resurgence of stuff, you know, especially lately. Rogue One.
Yep. They've got some entertaining stuff.
Yeah.
I am a Star Trek guy. And very specifically, The Next Generation. Captain Picard is my captain. But I look at it from, as much as the action in Star Trek is amazing and the story is very good, I love what they do in Star Trek as far as furthering everything. I love the idea, and I've talked about this in a couple videos, and I go off about it sometimes, is I love the idea that one day as a species, we can all be just planet Earth, and then be all working towards something bigger. Just bigger. And the problems on Earth have been mostly figured out to the point where we could take our collective being and be something bigger. I love that idea. So we stop bickering amongst each other and become something bigger. That's why I like the Star Trek stuff. Whereas Star Wars, everybody's still fighting.
Everybody's still fighting, but you know, the vehicles are cooler.
Yeah. I'm not going to deny that. I mean, you just don't fly in a quiet space all day. You get to fly the Millennium Falcon. Yeah. Like, I'm actually still on the fence about getting a Han Solo Millennium Falcon tattoo. And I would get original Han Solo because my favorite character in all of Star Wars, all of it, is Harrison Ford Han Solo. My favorite character ever. Which, if you like the show Firefly, my favorite character is Malcolm Reynolds, which is just like Han Solo. Who's your favorite Star Wars character? If you say Luke Skywalker, I'm going to be so disappointed.
No.
There's so many better characters. If you say Jar Jar, you can leave.
No. I always kind of like Chewbacca.
Yeah, Chewie's cool. That's because you're 6 foot, huge.
Yeah. The little Ewoks.
It's because you want to punt them. Yeah. You'd be like, that would be tasty. Although my son has talked about eating a porg. I don't know. He's got a couple stuffed ones and he talks about eating them.
Tastes like chicken.
Yeah. That's actually kind of funny. This will happen to you as well. Tosh is very careful to make sure that she teaches the kid to understand that they are food. So when they go to like the petting zoos and stuff like that, he's like, ooh, tasty. And other kids and moms are just mortified. They don't know what to do. And they're like, what? He understands that little chicken running around, like, it's dinner. That cow over there, that's dinner. A goat, sometimes. Dinner. My wife is a giant meatitarian. Which, so are you. So, movies, you're a Star Wars guy. You're loving the action stuff. Go see John Wick 3. The Reacher stuff I have not watched yet, but I think every time I hear Jack Reacher, I think of Jack Ryan, which Jack Ryan takes me to Tom Clancy, which then takes me back to Hunt for Red October, and I want to watch that again. What about tunes? Every time I get in your truck, it's something different.
I think that's the big thing. It's always different.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take a little bit of, your modern stuff, a lot of, Journey, older, stuff that was before my time.
Yep.
And still, truck's built to play, those older songs. Perfect bass for things. And
it's because it's a truck.
yeah.
It's built to be a redneck.
Yeah.
Listen to the classics.
Absolutely. I don't really know that I have a specific, needs to be this or needs to be that.
Yeah.
As long as it's not rap.
As long as it's not rap. I think rap has its place, but it's not in my car.
Yeah. Mine either.
Actually, I don't even... It's funny, because every time I get into a vehicle and the radio is on, sometimes I wonder what's going on. My old Cavalier, whenever I turn the radio on, it's because I was trying to mask another sound the car was making. And if I ignore it, it's not there. But in my car right now, the last time the radio was on, Chris borrowed my car to go put my headlights into it for me. And he left the radio on, and I was like, what is this thing that's making this noise? Turn it off. Like, I have a perfectly good engine that makes perfectly beautiful sounds. So I turned the radio off. But your truck is actually quite quiet. I think you need to get a big exhaust for it to make it not so quiet. Because it is a V8 and it doesn't sound like it.
No.
So we got to get that taken care of.
Only sounds like a V8 when I'm in a hurry.
Yeah. But a truck like that has a distinct rumble to it. If you put like a Thunder, was it a Thrustmaster Road Thunder series on it, that would be very nice. Or a Borla Cat, or a Borla Catback system would be very nice. Maybe some headers. I'm spending your money again.
Oh, yeah.
Lift kit, 35s maybe, 37s. Your wife's got her own car. She doesn't need to get in your truck.
No.
You're tall enough, you can get in there.
I can get in there.
I'll just fall my ass out of it.
Hey, it's easier to fall out.
Yeah. So with the RC stuff, if you had to pick one class, or not one class, but one area of RC that you enjoy the most, is it racing, or?
I think it's what comes along with racing.
Yeah.
Like, all along there's been, like you, Steve, myself. Yeah. When we started On Road, we were doing it with Paul Sharp, Gander, Keddy. Because, the group of us, we met up before the racing.
We met up, had breakfast.
During the racing. Hanging out outside the racing. And I think that was more what I was attracted to. Mm-hmm. You win a trophy, sure.
New bowling trophy.
You hang out with your friends and, you're having fun.
Yep.
Scaling, now that, Bear's getting older.
Yep.
My son, when he's getting there, where, you know, it's kind of a tight group of friends, right? Versus, you know, flying a plane, yeah, it's not my thing.
No. And Steve tried to get me into the flight stuff. And Kevin from Skycraft Hobbies has also been like, how do you feel about flight? I'm like, it sounds expensive because you make a mistake and you crash. And he's like, oh, they're not that expensive. And I'm like, yeah, neither is a scale rig. Yeah. But I kind of learned that a long time ago. Scale trucks are only as expensive as all the parts you want to put into them. And that never stops. It never stops with the amount of stuff that you want to put into that rig. So that kind of really goes on that one. So it's less about what you're running and more about
who you're
running with. Yeah, so that makes sense. And I think the crappy part about the winter is around here. Well, I shouldn't say that because you can still scale in the winter. I don't. I'm a fair weather person, and when the cold comes, I usually hibernate and play a lot of Xbox. That's when you'll find me racing the most is during the winter.
And even that, right? Summer, fair weather scaling, fair weather racing. Winter, on road, sim racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
kind of
still,
full of friends.
But still no flight.
Yeah.
And no boats. I don't like boats.
Don't have the right water for boats around here.
No, because the lake gets really, really choppy, and it's always really cold. And I don't know, man. I just don't find them entertaining. It's like, oh, look, I can scale drive over a wave. Look, it goes really fast on water.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
You make a mistake with your scale area, you got a little bit of a walk.
Yeah.
Make a mistake with your boat.
Yeah, you're swimming. Oh, God, I still remember that day that Tony's Spartan on 6S melted the wires a while from shore. And it was his first day out, next thing you know, and it was only April. Very, very cold on Lake Ontario, and poor Tony was watching it float away. So there goes Tony in the really, really, really cold April waters of Lake Ontario, swimming out to get that boat. That was the day I decided there will never be a boat in my garage. Ever. Not like your real boat.
Not my real boat.
But that goes in the water just as much as my non-existent boat does.
Yep.
All right, so...
But the Sea-Doo.
Yeah, the Sea-Doo is fun.
Sea-Doo's fun.
Paramedic, John Wick, any music, scale with friends. It's going to be, well, race with friends. Again, the racing stuff is what he has the most of. Because even at home, you've got that truggy still, you've still got that Traxxas thing.
Yeah.
And all your scale stuff is in a box over here.
I think I've got pretty much one of almost every class for racing. I've still got an MBX 6 Eco.
Yep. Which is so fast. Although they're onto the 7s now, but that 6 Eco is so fast.
I didn't even know if I think it might be past 7s.
Well, the MBX 8 for Nitro, but I think the Eco... No, I think they're still in Eco. I don't pay attention to 8 scale anymore. So not at all. Although the Mugen stuff I used to love. Used to. Had a little problem with the fact that they'll sponsor anybody who emails them. So if you're ever looking for an RC sponsorship, just email Mugen. You automatically get a cost sponsorship just for signing your name. And then you can buy all the parts that you want and then sell all the parts to your friends. And screw every hobby shop in the area. Just putting that out there. But what else? What else do we need to know about you? Is there anything else?
Kid, wife.
Kid, wife, yep.
Boat. That's the big exciting stuff.
That's the majority of it. He works so much that he doesn't have much else to do. But ultimately what you're going to do, you're going to see him on the trails as much as he can. Yeah. With the Scale Garage, we've got enough kits that we can bring people along, right? So if we want to introduce somebody in, we've got a truck that they can use. We've got the trucks, we've got the radios, we've got the equipment to be able to say, hey, come and try it for a day. So you're going to see him wheeling some stuff this year. He's not brand new, but he also doesn't have the miles in like the rest of us do. So you'll see some challenges. And hopefully if we make some out-of-town events, or we make some G6s and stuff like that, that you're going to see him come with as well. Just look for a giant, humongous red truck to pull in and know that in the back is a bunch of scale goodness and an antler. So we've got to get you some kind of odd horn that people will be able to tell who you are. Or just get you like a big bullhorn on the front of your truck.
That'd be true. That
would be more antler-esque, is if you put maybe deer antlers on the front, and then if someone got in your way, you hammer them and poke them. But all right, so let's wrap this video. This one here it's as you can see on the screen, it's already 40 minutes long. 40 minutes goes fast when you're just kind of hanging out and chatting.
Out, having fun, yeah.
Before we got on film, we actually went through and went through bins and bins and bins and started sorting things out and trying to find parts. Because remember, in my live thing, I was talking about the idea that I was going to put Bear's truck back together, and I couldn't find half the parts. And then we started digging through stuff and finding parts. And this is just some of it. There are bins that we went through, and we had to separate into keepers, tossers, and I have to sort that out later. And thank you, I forget who it was that mentioned on there to put beef tubes in my kid's axles. Because I forgot that I had these Beef Up RC axles that I'm going to put into his. Good weight, so put that into the kid's truck for sure. But in the meantime, guys, please remember to click like and then comment and then subscribe and then of course share throughout your community. If you have any questions for this at all, just post them down below. If Antler doesn't see them right away, I'll send him the question and he can put the response back. And then if there's anything else you're looking for, please let us know. So any closing thoughts?
Have fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what it comes down to, right?
That's what this summer's going to be.
Sometimes we take things way too seriously, which I am a very big culprit for. I take things way too seriously sometimes. But that's it, guys. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for sticking through another video of the Getting to Know series. Again, we still have a handful more to go because there's still more people involved in Scale Freak. So guys, thank you very much, and have yourself a great day.